welcome back to the Collection Obsession podcast. I am one of your hosts, Andy, and I am here with my co host, the man of the glow man himself, Paul. How the fuck are you?
I'm pretty good. I got to deal some glow today, and man, I've got more stories to tell for today.
Excellent. Well, with that in mind, let's get back into the glow. It's nuclear, you know?
Oh yeah, I got you now. I was like, "What? There's a tornado going
Yeah, I
through?"
mean, that is anyone around here definitely knows that as a tornado alarm instead of
I was just like, I thought it was a transition over to me, like the swoosh, and then I was like, "Wait, no, this is going on for far too long."
No, I was sounding the alarms.
So, hi everybody. I'm Paul, Isotope Emporium, co-host on the Collection Obsession. And today we're going to kind of detour from where we've been as of late, which is the Vaseline and a little bit of the green uranium. And
Oh,
we are
that's not what I
going,
thought we were talking about for a minute.
uh, it, what?
Nothing, go on.
Okay. I was like, wait, did I miss something? Which, if any of y'all know me, y'all know that I miss things all the time. Um, so
That's what
we
people
are
call weed.
see another thing right over my head. So today we're gonna talk about high Z glass, which there are so many pieces that high Z themselves put out that you could be a collector of basically any type of glassware, and this company did it, and they did it extraordinarily well. So if you've ever seen the H in a diamond on the bottom of anything aside from a hen on nest, that is Heisey. So Heisey glass, high quality, and just fantastic stuff.
I feel like everything by Heisey glows. Like,
That
not
is it.
uranium necessarily, but I feel like it glows.
Just like it's quality, it's
Mhm.
good. And
Yeah.
they had their glass formulas perfected when they came into the business, and they hit the ground running, and they didn't stop for years, for decades. So if you're familiar with Heisey, you will be familiar with the custard glass that they did extraordinarily well. They are on par with Northwood custard, which we'll be discussing next week. And Heisey did what's called souvenir glass.
You keep
There
using this
are
term. I mean, I know what obviously what souvenir glass is, but, like, I did not realize that that was something they did.
yeah, so what is souvenir glass? That it when we think souvenir glass, we think, oh, shot glasses from Key West, or the
You know
more
you know what I think?
mm,
Hershey,
what?
Pennsylvania.
Oh, hell yeah. They were and still are famous for
The whole
all the different
town smells like
souvenirs.
chocolate.
It
It's
it really
crazy.
does. I remember being a kid and going up there, and I always had a blast.
Yeah, I used to
I
race BMX, so I would go there yearly.
okay. Yeah, I only went there on field trips on a couple family vacations up there, but we always had fun, and especially like we would every now and then go into the zoo
Mhm.
and just kind of wander around.
They also have the
So,
Hershey Chocolate World, which is like a amusement park.
yes, that was um so like Chocolate World. whenever I think chocolate world, I always think the indoor stuff that they
The
have.
ride that they show you how
They show
chocolate's
you how
made.
chocolate's
It's
made.
so cool.
It really is. It's yeah, that was a lot of fun. We actually one time made custom chocolate bar wrappers with our faces on them.
Really? I remember them
Yeah.
having, like, a 10-pound, Hershey bar.
Oh yeah, they still have that.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
that's one of my biggest memories of it.
Talk about a sugar coma.
Yeah.
So Heisey and Hershey is actually connected to Heisey, believe it or not.
Really?
And I'll explain why in just a minute. So for those who think the more modern aspect of souvenir glass, when we're talking Heisey, we are talking turn of the 20th century, 1900 to 1915, very early. And what could you find on souvenir glass? So souvenir glasses are basically little pieces. They're not usually big like pitchers, bowl sets, etc. They were little pieces that were made for towns, for locations that you could go into the gift shop and pick up, like, say you go to Allentown, Pennsylvania, there would be a little
Why the
gift
hell would
shop.
you ever go there?
I don't know.
You know what would have been
So,
a great example is Lancaster.
well, I haven't seen a lot of souvenir glass out of Lancaster. Seen it out
It's
of
because
York.
they're all the Amish.
That's true.
Well, and
And
Mennonite, I guess.
so I've seen them out of York, seen them out of Gettysburg. I've seen them out of all around there. None for
Mhm.
Lancaster.
Ooh,
I
Gettysburg is a crazy place too. Have you ever been
Oh
there?
yeah.
The
Did you just
battlefield.
say have I ever been there?
Yeah.
I literally spent like 7 years of my life obsessed with the place.
Yeah? Man, the battlefield's so cool. Like,
I at one point thought I wanted to be a Civil War historian.
really?
That was yeah, I live 10 miles away from Antietam battlefield and 45 minutes away from Gettysburg.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I spent a lot of time there, which it always is fun when I see the souvenir glass from Gettysburg
Yeah.
because they made a metric shit ton of it.
Yeah.
Like that was probably one of the primary things of souvenir glass that they made was Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
So and Heisey also they sent a lot of their glass off to be etched for Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Really?
So
Like,
when
so
Hershey Park started being developed, that was one of the first glass items that Hershey Park ever had
mhm.
was they were Heisey glass souvenir pieces.
So you say etched. I was picturing, like, printed, like, glass pieces, you know what I mean? I was picturing,
So
like, this right here that I have that's just a stupid ashtray that has, like, a auto body, you know?
yeah, so there's two types. Heisey made so they didn't do the decorating themselves. They sold the pieces secondhand to to either etching or painting companies. And there's two types, etching and painting. When you're talking etching,
How many are there?
you're two types.
Sorry.
Two. Two. Dos. So when you're talking etching, you are looking at glassware that was clear to begin with, and then they added a red film. They basically fired it on after the glass was already made, and then those designs were etched, like sometimes very crudely, sometimes very elegantly. into the glass. I don't think I have anything sitting. Oh, I do. Hold on. I have a piece for Hagerstown, Maryland. Here, hold on one second.
Okay.
So this is a piece right here. It's really hard to see because my camera sucks. But do you see how there's etched
Oh yeah.
words on
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
So when you think etched, you want to think clear with
Yeah, that's what
ruby
I was
around the
picturing.
middle.
I was picturing like I wasn't picturing like that, I guess. I was picturing something different
And I'll
completely.
show you an example of the other kind because the other kind is painted. And as it so happens, I have a painted piece from Hagerstown, Maryland. Oh, lost your video there.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Hey, you're not supposed to do that. I'll
I don't,
carry.
I don't know why I did that.
So I have this piece of custard here. So this is uranium. This is from Hagerstown, which is where I live. And I'm not able to really hold it all that well, but it does have a uranium glow to it because it's custard. So they made those two types of souvenir glass. There were etched and there were painted. And
So
these were
I can't
made.
get this video back.
Oh, well, you're not supposed to do that.
I know. I don't know why it went to the OBS camera. That's strange.
Did you kick something?
No, I was messing with my fan, and I think the cord of the fan came unplugged, and that happened.
Hey, Andy, in the future,
Don't
cut
do
this
that.
part out.
Yeah. No, I think it'll sound great. I think people will be into it.
Hi, Jamie. It's kind of like I can't remember what movie it was. At the end of every of a bunch of scenes, uh, they would stop and they'd say, "Hi, Sally," because that was who was editing the film and cutting it down, and they put that in as bloopers so that she would see it.
So you've disappeared now.
I've disappeared.
Yeah. Oh man. Um Good
Technical
Lord, Andy.
difficulties, chaps.
Hey, you know what? It's fine because the voice matters. That's what's the true everybody wants the voice.
Do you want me to just keep yapping?
Yeah, keep on going. Sorry. I'm going to just try to fix it on my own, but I'm listening. Ooh.
Okay. So when Heisey started making their custard glass, or their souvenir glass rather, my apologies. They were marketing it not as people going to a place, walking there, taking a wagon. You were on the train. This was the golden age of passenger rail, like long haul passenger rail in America. And Victorians were collectors just like we are today. They wanted something to show their friends, like, hey, look at this cool trip I went on, and look at this cool thing I got on the way, or look at this cool set of like 20 things that I got along the way. And they marketed a lot of their custard glass. I believe there were, so I have it sitting right here in front of me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of their custard lines were souvenir and made partially to be souvenirs. They were made for that secondary souvenir market. So And I mean they weren't just painting in like painting on custard either. They did some ruby painted. They also did emerald with gold writing, and like the Hagerstown cup that I have is actually red paint. So the word
Okay.
Hagerstown and Maryland, that's in red. But they also did they did paint on what's called clam broth, which is kind of an off-white color, and they also did it on milk glass. Like I have a little milk glass bathtub sitting around here. It's like a novelty soap dish, and
Yeah.
it's from middle of nowhere in South Dakota. And that's why you see like you'll see South Dakota, you will see all sorts of different locations that you're like, why the hell is this does this exist? And it's because the railroad went through there.
That makes sense.
So and for those of you who want to make a map of the continental United States using souvenir stuff, you're in luck because they made one for every single state in the continental United States. There are no Alaskan nor any Hawaiian souvenir pieces, but you can get one from each of
Why
the
not?
48, the lower 48, because because no railroads that went to
Yeah,
them.
yeah, I get that.
So um and
Do I
also
sound
like
weird to you?
what's that?
Do I sound weird?
Yeah, you're quiet.
Well, I was away from the mic, but do I sound weird?
Not really.
Okay. I sound weird to me.
No, you don't sound weird at all.
Thanks.
So we're going to dig a little bit deeper into Heisey glass because in amongst all of their souvenir glass, they were doing extraordinary pieces of custard. I mean, just I have a piece right now that is a custard butter dish, and it is one of the most beautiful things I have ever seen in my life. Just absolutely stunning piece of glassware. And so I think that pattern is what's called winged scroll. It is pattern 1280 if you're looking in the catalogs of Heisey glass, which if you want to dig deeper into Heisey and all the amazing pieces that they put out, there are countless books because people have been collecting this for decades. They've been collecting, cataloging, identifying pieces for decades. And so this winged scroll was in a color called Ivorina Verde. So a couple episodes ago, we were talking about Hobbes and their Rubina Verde.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Well,
that sounds familiar.
and the reason is because you can take a piece of Heisey custard, put it out in the sunlight, and the ambient UV from the sun will start to it will turn it green in some
Really?
capacity just from the uranium content that's in these pieces. So they were calling it Ivorina Verde. Ivory, obviously akin to bone, but a little bit more delicate a material to work with. Also now banned because stop killing elephants and rhinos, you assholes.
Yeah, why would you do that
Um,
to begin with, you fucking dickbag?
right,
I'm
like
not calling you a dickbag, I'm calling
let
that.
those beautiful creatures be. In case you guys can't tell, I'm also an avid environmentalist and animal, like quit screwing with animals guy kind of guy.
You should quit
Which
eating
I'm
meat then.
that I
You should
can't.
listen to Harmless.
You mean the other podcast that you work with?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was about to say this conversation sounds like it should be on that podcast. So, Winged Scroll, and guys, they were not screwing around when they were making their custard. So this winged scroll pattern I have, which if you envision it in your head, so think of a butter dish, and think if there were Greek scrolls that came off of the pieces, and then they were gilded with gold. I just the high A lot of Heisey glass had gold gilding on the embossed, so the raised parts of the glass, and it added that extra accent color to it that just chef's kiss. Just adds that extra bam. So,
That's Emerald Bam.
bam. I used to love that show when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I would watch that religiously between what is his name? Elton Brown. Between Elton Brown,
Alton Brown.
thank you. Alton Brown, Rachel Ray, and Emerald always would watch their stuff when we were kids. Like if we were
I wanted to
sitting
be a
in,
chef for the longest time.
you know, I'm good in the kitchen. I know what I'm doing. I don't think I could do it full time like that.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't think I could do it full time. I think that everyone that works in a kitchen ends up fucking hating it.
which I don't want to do that to myself and food. Like,
Yeah.
I enjoy all sorts of cuisines from around the world, and I don't want to sabotage myself by making so much of it that I hate it.
Yeah.
Like,
We have a restaurant here in town, and one of my good friends is the head chef. He quit out of nowhere because he's like, I just can't take the kitchen. But then he started back because, small town, you got to have a job.
right. Yeah, I can make curry. I love a good masaman curry. And I know we're not a food podcast, but
We got into food the other
we did get
episode
into
too.
food the other episode. I love a good masaman curry, which is a peanut and coconut milk base with masaman curry paste in it. And then you mix in your vegetables of choice, which I usually do carrots, onions, and yellow potatoes. And then I usually make it with chicken. I don't do beef or anything like that. I think the beef overpowers the curry itself, and it's like
Yeah, I could see that.
I don't want to be eating a steak while I'm trying to enjoy the Southeast Asian cuisine. Like, no. No, 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 no. We ain't doing that. Um Oh man, I could talk for hours about curry.
Well,
I've had
everybody
so many
knows now
adventures.
that there will be another podcast coming that is a food podcast.
Hell yeah, let's do it. Like you, we could now. Don't do a podcast. Hell, let's do a YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's where it's at. Have you ever seen? This is a great mixer of things that I love. Um, it's called Something Burning. It's
I can't say that I have.
no, it's a comedian, and his name is mistaking me or miscaping. Get it? Miscaping, escaping me right now,
Lord.
and I don't know why. Because it's stupid that it is. Because he's a very known comedian. But anyway, he used to do all his shit with his shirt off. Anyways, he does a cooking show now on YouTube. And
Was it the guy that did Epic Mealtime?
No.
No.
Wait.
Okay. Okay.
No. It's
Okay.
fuck, why can't I think of his name?
He didn't have an epic beard like us, right?
No.
Okay.
That's stupid. As soon as I figure it out, I'm gonna be like, why didn't I think of that?
So now that we have gone like completely off the rails, I'm gonna bring it back to this beautiful winged scroll
Bert
pattern.
Kreischer.
What
Kreischer.
what were you even thinking
I
of?
don't know.
I was not even thinking of Bert Kreischer.
Yeah, he has a show on YouTube that's he has like celebrities on and he cooks for them.
I know who he is. I love that man. That man is beautiful. I
Well,
saw a thing recently where he was like doing a charity golf tournament or whatever, and the people who heckle, like that's their thing
yeah, like
online,
so
is they
that's
heckle
a
them.
very known golf outing that they do yearly.
And it's just it was so funny. Um
A
it
lot of
I
those people suck at golf.
Oh, hell yeah. And that's the point. Like, you're there to have fun.
But yeah,
So
it's
I
funny because I'm really into comedy, so I couldn't think of his name, and that's ridiculous.
he, the machine.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna bring it
Reel
back,
us
and
in. Reel us in.
we're gonna keep looking at this winged scroll because it's just an incredible pattern. Is that your example of
That was me
reeling us back
reeling.
in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't very good reel.
No, it sounded like a squeaky door in a
It could
haunted
have been like
house.
a and that would be reel to reel.
the, the sarcastic disappointment that always comes across my face when you
Send
say
help.
things like that.
Send help.
So Heisey was not a company that did a lot of one-off pieces. Now, granted, they did. There are a couple patterns that I'll talk about that they definitely did one-off pieces with, but this Ivorina Verde winged scroll, this custard winged scroll, is they did a table set, they did a berry set, they did a pitcher, they did a swung vase, cruet, salt and pepper, tray, a fucking ring tree. Like, you don't see a lot of companies making ring trees in anything. So to get a company that is making that in this pattern as well is super rare. So they also did a compote, which is kind of like a bowl that sits on it's like, it's not a foot, but
A
it's a
stem.
stem. It looks like a piece of stemware if it went to bulking camp. Um that's what I always think of. And guys, if you're looking for this winged scroll in custard, you're missing a whole half of uranium because they did it all in Vaseline too. So this pattern, it has range in terms of uranium. And I want to make a note for our more novice collectors that when you hit a piece of custard with a 395 nanometer light, that's your purple appearing light, it is not going to be a solid green. You may pass it by the first go around, you may question it, and that's okay because a lot of people do. Your 395 is going to show you some green glow on most custard pieces. There are exceptions to that rule, which we'll get into with Northwood. But your 365 light, which is white appearing, it's off white appearing, um, that is going to show you the bright green glow on most of your custard. So when you take your piece of custard and you put it in your display, do not dismay at the fact that it is not solid and bright green glow. It's it is going to look different because it's a different type of glass.
Hey, look,
Just like
I'm
you would
coming back.
expect. What's
Oh,
up?
wait. I'm not back. I am. I'm not. I am. I'm not.
We're having technical difficulties, guys, in the background. It's okay. I'm here. I'm here for you.
I
I'm
see
here to support
myself
you.
on my
Yeah,
other
I don't see
camera.
you.
Yeah, that's weird. It's really
So
bothering me.
Winged Scroll is that is one of their premier pieces. They did a full set of all sorts of stuff in this Winged Scroll pattern. They also did a full set with a pattern called Ring Band, which is actually what this guy is right here, my Hagerstown, Maryland cup. This is a ringed band piece. And it's basically plain towards the top, and then around the bottom it's got several different designs on it. In almost like, it looks, if you're familiar with Indiana King's Crown, it looks like that, but at the bottom of the pieces. So they did some extraordinary pieces in this ring band. They did souvenir and they did a table set. Also, to just go back to the winged scroll for a second, they didn't do any souvenir in that pattern. So I kind of misled right there. They didn't do any souvenir with that pattern, but
That's
they
pretty
did do a
fucked up
lot
you
of
did that.
custard souvenir. I know. Slapped me on the wrist. So Ring Band, they did a full table set as well. They did a berry bowl set, so a big one, plus a cruet syrup jar, which those are kind of hard to find, especially with the metal top that they used to have on them. They did a tray, which you can either use that in a table setting or you could use it as like a dresser top piece. They also did a pitcher and cup set, which custard pitchers and cup sets, they got me feeling some type of way. Like when I see
Yeah,
those things, it's just like, holy cow, I need it.
you
Like
get
I
a
when I
boner,
was
huh?
doing the what's that?
You get a boner.
I, sure, that it. You know what? Yeah, I'm just like, ooh, that's exciting. It's like it's beautiful, and they like pictures, guys. If you're a uranium collector, do not sleep on the pictures. The pictures are oftentimes the rarer pieces out of sets, and I have seen them go for $10 a piece. Do not sleep on pictures. Those things are awesome. Most of the time they're rare because guess what? Humans, we're clumsy. We drop shit. Also,
Also,
the handles break on a lot of them. So
do
don't sleep on
not
pictures.
sleep on pictures because it's not a very good picture if you're sleeping.
That's
And
true.
I'm going to drop my whole bit here now, and you can go ahead.
You know, it's funny you say that. I was looking the other day, I was doing the research for this podcast, and I came across a piece. It wasn't Dugan. It was somebody else. It was somebody earlier. It might have been Gillender that made it. It was a toothpick holder in the shape of a picture frame.
Really?
It was so weird. Like it's I was like, this is really cool. They didn't make it in uranium,
Was
but
it like you could slide a picture into it?
no, that was the even weirder part. Like it was just a picture frame.
Very
It
strange.
was a solid piece of glass. You could not put a picture inside of it. I was like, because I thought I was going to find a glass picture frame somewhere along the way that looked like that and be like, oh, hot damn, I can put a picture of it. And I
Yeah,
could put a picture of the picture
of it
toothpick
in
holder.
it.
But alas, no such luck. No such luck. So when we're talking about Heisey, we're gonna bounce back and forth. They are known in the uranium community for doing a lot of custard, but it is worth mentioning that Heisey did about 50-50 with uranium and did a lot of Vaseline. A lot.
It's a good thing you can't see my secondary camera right now
Why?
because I was making faces at myself.
Just all sorts of emotions crossing your face. So Heisey did they did what's called a cross-lined flute, which that's a lot of terminology. Trust me, I don't even get it most of the time. It's a Vaseline vase. So anytime you see a Vaseline vase and it's less than like $50, pick it up, please.
Yeah.
Add it to your collection because you're not gonna find it again. I
I feel
don't
like
care. I don't care who
every
made it. Just do it.
every Vaseline piece, period, is rather hard to come by, honestly.
Most of the time, if you have a Vaseline piece, it is worth more than $50. There are certain instances where it's more common and you're just not gonna it's just not gonna happen. Um, but most of the time when you have a Vaseline piece, you're talking $50 or more.
Hmm.
Um, but it always pays to check eBay sold prices, guys, because your old guard for Vaseline collectors, they go there. They also go to online auctions, and it doesn't matter what the price is. They are going to pay it because they want it. So just keep that in mind um, when you're looking for going prices. Do your homework. It's
Homework,
worth it.
homework,
I
homework.
know in school you were like, damn it, I don't want to solve a differential equation. Damn it, I don't want to add all these numbers together.
I really didn't mind school.
I didn't either, but once I
I
got
mean,
past the eighth grade, I you wouldn't catch me dead doing math.
I fucking hated school up until about ninth grade.
I never minded it. I I carved out my own place in school and it got me by, but I never like did I flake on a couple of classes? Oh, hell yeah.
Did you go to college?
I did. And my college degree has nothing to do with glassware.
Well, I said about going to school, and I don't do anything that has anything to do with what I went for.
And that's happening more and more because college degrees are getting more expensive, but they're not paying off.
Yeah.
Like it's there's a reason I haven't used my degree, and it's because there's nothing that pays well in my field. Like it's political science. And yeah, I live near DC. You wouldn't catch me dead fighting that traffic every single day. Hell no. Like
Yeah, you'd
I
be
have
crazy to do that.
I I just couldn't. Like even riding the MARC train, which is the local train
Who's
system,
Mark?
right? I like when those come through the outer areas of the metro area, it's like 6 a.m.
Ugh.
that you would have to be on that train at 6 a.m. to make it to work that way. And you have to leave your house out here around that time to make it to work on time. Like it's no, 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 not a
Yeah,
chance.
that would suck.
So let's see. Okay. Heisey did something else called a punty band. No, don't put a C there instead of the P. It is a punt, like football, punt. I'm going to punt this back over to you, Andy. Not actually, but because you're still having fun over there.
I am.
So they did some souvenir and they also made shakers. in that pattern. So more souvenir pieces like mugs, little creamers, toothpick holders than they did the shakers. But the shakers are there, they do exist. You're a day late and a dollar short with that one. So they also did something called a plain band, which is it's a very plain pattern, as the name suggests. And they only made that for the secondary souvenir market. They didn't do anything else in like other areas. So they they just didn't. They didn't. Um, the next. Why? Why are you like this? Why are you like this? Oh, my ear holes. Please don't do that. Um, so they also did a pattern called pineapple fan. And yo, pineapples, we're going south. It's not that fancy.
Oh,
They
that's not
they
what I
put a
was
bunch of
thinking.
they put a bunch of diamonds on it, and they did like, if you think of a fan hanging on a wall like an Asian fan or a like a ladies fan from the
Mhm.
Victorian era, uh, they did that was what made that pineapple fan pattern. So they did custard
I've
souvenirs.
just so you know, when you
Yes.
said pineapple, I thought upside down pineapple.
No, no,
That's a sign
it
of
looks like
a
a
swinger.
pineapple. It looks like a pineapple, but
Does it
it's
look like a
not.
swinger?
Does it look like a swinger?
Yeah, that's the sign that you're a swinger on a cruise is you have an upside down pineapple on your door.
Hell, I'm learning even more today. I had no idea.
Yep. Leave it to me for the hard hitting stuff.
So this pineapple fan pattern, they did obviously custard souvenir. They actually did medium-sized pitchers, so more akin to a milk pitcher than a creamer, but they still weren't like full-sized pitchers. Um, but they also did Vaseline. They did three different shapes. They did a vase, they did a cream, and they did a sugar. So Vaseline, vase, and cream and sugar, and then a souvenir piece in custard. So after a while, I got tired of writing out a full set, like what's in a full set.
Yeah,
When I
that
wrote
used to be
down,
my issue too.
when I wrote down winged scroll, I literally said table set, toothpick, berry set, pitcher, swung vase, which that there are swung vases. That's how
Really?
they made a lot of their early vases. Um, Cruet, salt and pepper, tray, ring tree, compote. And then if you go to the next one, which I haven't talked about yet, it's literally called beaded swag,
Hell
and
yeah.
it's got a whole bunch of teeny tiny little beads on it that give it a lot of cool dimension. Um, I literally said berry table sets, and then I wrote down all set because I just didn't want to write everything down again. So this beaded swag was another one of their custard, like the winged scroll. They they did everything, including a souvenir piece for this set. So they did all of it, and they did it all in custard for this. Um, and then they did a pattern which is called cane and bar. And I actually have a personal story about this pattern, and I'm sad that they don't have my photos up there because there's only one photo of this pattern. So they think there's only a picture right now. I have found the only other known examples of berry bowls in both custard and lime custard, which
Now,
is super
when you
early.
say you found, you mean like you've seen, research something of it?
No, I have personally owned those pieces. They
Really?
have passed through my hands. Yes.
Why?
Why did they pass through my hands and
Why
not
did you let
stop
them
with my
go?
hands?
Yeah.
There's so many pieces I ask myself that about, and it's because I want other people to enjoy them just as much as I did.
I mean, that is part of the selling. That's probably one of the biggest parts is to do that, to let them go, and the excitement that people get.
Right? Yeah, it's so I became a seller because I was excited by this stuff and I knew other people were too, and I wanted to share that with people. So that's one of the reasons why I became a seller was also I don't have the room to keep every single piece I've ever found. I think at this point I'm sitting at about 3,000 lots of uranium and probably about 4,000 individual pieces that have
Really?
passed through my hands since I started about a year ago. I've had extraordinary pieces of glass that
That's
I have passed
crazy,
through
yeah.
my hands. It's crazy, but it's a lot of fun. Um, yeah, I wouldn't trade my job for the world at this point. Sometimes people get annoying, but that's okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, I annoy myself sometimes.
Yeah, I do too. Sometimes I'm like, why do I still do this way? Like there's got to be an easier way to to do business or
So,
to just exist.
I hate to even say these words, but, we're getting around to about that time on this episode. Can you kinda give us a wrap within the next 10 minutes or so? Are you able to wrap everything in a bow in 10 minutes? Can you possibly? I don't think it's possible.
I'll do it.
And
And you
that's
know what? I'm going to even add more information before we close.
shit.
So, yeah, just just bear with me. So, I really wanted to focus on Heisey this episode and just the extraordinary glassware that they did. But they didn't do as much as, well, they certainly didn't do as much as the famed Northwood, which we'll be talking about next time. I mean, they
I'm excited
did,
to hear about Northwood.
and so we're going to do both when they were a part of the National Glass Trust that we talked about, and then the years after the National Glass Trust.
Okay.
So there and I mean both of them. I mean, I have 3 pages of just patterns that they did in uranium and custard. Like they did a lot. Uh so we're going to talk about just in these last couple minutes, we're going to go back to the last episode. We're going to talk about the National Glass Trust.
Let's rewind real quick.
So, if you remember, just in brief, the National Glass Trust was a bunch of very wealthy, well off glass
Assholes.
companies, uh, yeah, basically, that tried to corner the market on consumer retail glassware. And for about 5 years, they succeeded in doing that. And in that time, they owned, like at their height, which was in 1902, they owned 19 different factories across 4 different states that were producing retail glassware. just an extraordinary amount of glassware came out of this National Glass Trust. And one of those companies you as a collector may already be familiar with. Well, one of these factories, McKee Glassworks, which was based out of Jeannette, Pennsylvania.
Yes, the other
So,
Jeannette, Pennsylvania company.
yes. So not Jeannette Glass, although McKee did later
Yes,
merge with that Jeannette Glass.
but they
So
were
this is
both in the same area.
yes. So this is early McKee glass. And when we talk McKee later on, we're going to talk about their custardware during the Depression, which holy cow, guys, buckle in because those are some rare pieces and they're fantastic
Yeah,
pieces.
McKee is awesome.
I have a couple pieces that are coming up for sale soon, and I am so freaking excited about that
Hell
because
yeah.
they're. Have you ever heard of McKee Polka Dot?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a refrigerator dish in that
Really?
pattern or it painted with that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I was like, I saw it at an auction and I was like, I'll be damned if I let this slip through my fingers. And I did not. Might have been a poor financial decision, but you know,
It's always a good decision.
to pick up McKee glassware. Look at us doing an advertisement for a company that died off
Doesn't
100 years ago.
exist anymore.
So at the McKee Glassworks, that was part of the National Glass Trust, they did one of my personal favorite sets, which is called Geneva, which has a very Italian look to it. And they painted it one of two ways whenever it went to market. They painted it either with green and red accents, or they painted it with almost a bluish gray. Oh my god. Just extraordinary pieces of glass were coming out of McKee Glassworks, and that they did in the Geneva, they did a full table set. They did the whole shebang, and it was in custard. So it's a very light custard, but it glows. So sometimes in custard you get the more yellowish, which is usually an indicator of Heisey. When you get a piece of Geneva McKee, you are going to think it's milk glass until you realize it's got a little bit of color to it. And I mean, they just mm, mm, beautiful stuff. So McKee this glass works also did a pattern called Imperial, and this is one of those early appearances of not a green apple color, but a very light green uranium glass. And it looks like it this I hate to say this because most people haven't played Minecraft, but it looks like an ender pearl. It looks very very light green, but there's a depth to it.
Uh-huh. Yep. Yep. Yeah. I am one of those people.
So if you look it up, it almost has a seafoam green color, which is it's a dull green, but you can see that there's something going on with it.
Yeah.
It's very clear that they're like it's a beautiful color.
I used to
Um,
be a tattoo artist, and seafoam green is one of my favorite colors to use.
it's it's one of my favorite colors in glassware, and that's mostly because it is uranium. I
Mhm.
had a piece one time where it looked so art deco, just the way the glass was patterned and glowed, but it was about 20 years too early.
Mm.
It was just a beautiful piece of glassware. So we've got Geneva, we've got Imperial. Let's look at Maypole, which I'm not even going into the history of the Maypole. Look it up. They it
That's,
almost so
one of the
this
ships that they came over on, right?
Totally. Totally. You got about 50% there, which in some schools is a passing grade. So I'll grade you that. So this pattern it doesn't have a lot of straight up and down uh designs in it as one might expect. It actually focuses more on the ribbon around the maypole. So it's got a lot of loops, it's got a lot of uh more horizontal patterns to it.
Isn't there a nursery rhyme about
Yes, there is.
around the maypole?
Yes, there is. And the maypole is a pagan symbol that was adopted into many other faiths in many different
Don't
ways.
get it confused. It's not satanic. It's not.
It's not satanic. It is very much the opposite.
Yeah.
So they did a custard and and I believe they did a Vaseline set in the maypole that was just fantastic. They also did a little bit of painting on the custard table set that came with that came in the maypole pattern, much like you would expect the Geneva to be painted. But it's an extraordinary piece. It's an extraordinary pattern, and if you manage to get that whole table set, have fun. They also did a syrup, and this is number 101. They don't really know much about it because it's very nondescript, and it almost looks like a piece of tableware that you would find in a Denny's or an IHOP, but it's custard.
Huh.
It's really cool. It's a really light custard, so it has an interesting flowing shape to it that you don't see a lot in Victorian glassware. Usually you're looking at those fine cut edges
Yeah.
and you're looking at a very busy pattern. But this is not that. This is much simpler. It's also much easier to make. So one would expect that you'd find a lot of them. You really don't. And it's hard to know exactly what it is. So keep an eye out for those
Yeah. Keep
pieces.
on the eye.
Keep on the eye. And
That
then the
sounds like
last
the
thing,
ending of something. And as always, keep
keep
on the
on the
eye.
eye. That's how the Illuminati ends their meetings. Out in the middle of the forest after doing actual satanic rituals.
Yeah. Eating babies and shit. Maybe drinking the blood. I don't know. Maybe it's just that
Wearing buck heads around.
that's fine. Just don't wear white after Labor Day.
So the last pattern from McKee that I really want to talk about, and then I'll give you the nice bow on top, is Vulcan. So, first of all, hell of a name. Second, there's only one piece of custard that they did in this pattern. And it has a very art deco look to it, which a lot of times I would say this piece, like on first glance, it looks like a piece of 1930s acro agate, just in terms of its shape and its construction. The only thing that differentiates itself that this uses and that collectors can use is it does have more of that yellow custard look to it, which you very rarely, if ever, see a piece of acro that has that uranium quantity in there. It's noticeable, but you have to train your eye to know. And my guess is you are more likely to find a piece of uranium acro agate than you are to find this Vulcan piece, because the Vulcan predates it by about 30 years.
What are
Predates
you
acro by
Vulcan
about 30 years.
talking about? What are you Vulcan
What are
talking
you
about?
Vulcan about? It's a, it sounds like a New York vampire. I'm Vulcan here.
Oh shit. Let's not do accent stuff because I'll get carried away.
Me too. I pride myself on being able to represent a lot of different people and a lot of different accents,
I tried.
most of which really shouldn't be on Spotify.
Yeah, sometimes at work we'll go through 3 different people. So,
Fair enough. So, excuse me. I've been yapping for an hour now. And
exact.
guys, yeah. So, to kind of round it out, today we've really gone through a lot of this early custard glass. And your earlier pieces are going to be from the early Northwoods, of which there are a couple of custard pieces and patterns. Your Heisey, they're the ones that really went hard on the
They went
custard.
hard in paint.
Yes. And then you've got a little bit of the National Glass Trust trying to dabble in custard glass, but they didn't do a lot of it unless it was at their National Glass Works that we'll talk about next week, which it's a Northwood episode. I'm next week. We're going to do a deep dive. And by a deep dive I mean we're going to talk about a cumulative 30 years of Northwood craftsmanship in both custard and Vaseline, as well as some of our green uranium that we haven't been able to talk about too much because there hasn't been a lot of it to speak of. And we're going through some of these patterns that if you've ever bought a piece of custard, you've probably looked at it and said, this might be Northwood, because we've got stuff like the grape and cable,
Yes.
beaded cable.
Yes.
We're going to talk next week about the Nautilus pattern, which was actually made by the Northwood Works of National Glass Trust. We are going to talk about if you've ever had a piece of custard that looks like it's dirty, but you can't get it off without scrubbing really hard. For the love of God, stop scrubbing. That's 120-year-old paint. And we're going to talk about a lot of that. I'm super excited to do a deep dive on Northwood because it's a lot, but it's a lot of cool shit that they put out there.
Northwood's a good one for that episode. I just want to mention it will be episode 40.
Episode 40. You want to do something special for episode
No,
40?
40 is just a 40. It's just the year I'm going to turn this August.
Bless your heart.
It's basically a death sentence.
I'm going to send you a cake that has the 40 in black numbers.
Yeah,
It's going to
remember
be an
when it
all
used to
black
be
cake,
over the hill is 40?
right? Now it's like, okay, cool, have fun.
But 50 does have to be big.
Well, I guess we'll have to talk about that then.
Statistically, podcasts only last 3 episodes.
Well, then I'd say we are quite beyond that at this point.
Yes. There have been hiccups. There have been tears and laughter and tears and hey, Paul, I can't think of anything else. Come in real quick. And
Blood, sweat,
but what? No.
perseverance,
Yes.
perspiration,
Yep. Well, meh. Yeah, I guess so.
the love that can only be found in the
Fuck,
crucible of battle.
You're fucking up now.
Ah, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Shit.
you asked me to be a thesaurus, so I'm the emphasis on the saurus.
Sore ass.
Sore ass. Yeah, at this
Where's my
point, my chair's uncomfy.
Yeah, mine's not very comfortable either. I need a
Guys,
gaming chair.
Guys, we're gonna set up a buy me a coffee Actually, you know what? I'm gonna set up a GoFundMe to get me like one of those $1,000 gaming chairs, so Andy and I can just sit here and yap for 24 hours straight,
Yeah,
and
never sleep.
yeah, never sleep. I'm sitting here, you could probably see my eyes closing.
Yeah, I don't get enough sleep as it is.
So, Andy, I'm gonna pass it back over to you because, as you already are very well aware, I have no idea how to close.
Yeah, well, that was an episode. It was a great episode. I love all the companies that you talked about. Like,
Of
they are
which there were
among
2.
my personal collections.
Yeah, I actually have a piece of Northwood that I'm staring at right now, Nautilus pattern. That's one of my that's probably gonna stay in mine because I like it.
Um, let me give another go at this ending thing. Hold on one second. That was just me thinking.
Breaking news!
Breaking news. This has been episode
Bikini
39.
Bottom needs your
No,
help.
99999. Now, spade and neuter your animals.
Oh, yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah, Bob Barker. All right, guys, we'll see you the next time.
We'll catch you next time.
It's going to be a good one. I can't wait. I'm excited for it.
So am I. I hope you are too.
In the words of Ben Buying Glass, peace.